Hi, welcome to GameScape3D. Today we're going to be going over our release of our gigantic cliffs. We have a lot to go over, so let's get to it. Alright, before we jump in and see how this thing is standing up, let's look at some of our smaller features. Get some of these figures out of the way. Alright, you're going to have a folder in there called Magnet Face Cliffs. Those refer to a few specialty items that we have here. You can see this tree right here actually just pops right off. And after you pop it off, you can go ahead. I have a door piece you can swap in there. I also just have a plain cliff face you can swap right. You can pop in there. Okay. So let's say you're on an adventure and someone says a magic word, maybe that makes a door appear in the side of a cliff for you to enter inside or whatever. So this one right next to it is another swappable one. We have a cave entrance. These things blend in real well on the tabletop, as you can see. So there we go. No cave. Cave. Just that simple. Okay. And then our last one is down here. Shelves right here. This whole thing comes off. Okay, and there's your magnet faces on the back. You're also going to have open locks everywhere you have magnets. Most of the time you're going to want to use magnets. We're using 3 by 8 millimeter magnets on this. I needed something with a little more punch than the 2 by 6s I usually use. So you can see the open locks being useful in some cases. Mostly I think you'll want to use them on side-to-side connections potentially, because you will get into situations where the magnet polarity isn't set up correctly for what you want to do. And those open locks will override the magnets pushing away from each other. In terms of this base here, you can use any 1/4 inch material. I'm using hardboard here. You could use 1/4 inch cardboard, 1/4 inch foam core, some kind of plastic, plexiglass, anything you got available. You could even use 1/8 inch material and shim it up a little bit or double it up, whatever. So there's the hardboard I'm using. Okay, and these set right on top. I'll go ahead and move these out of the way so you can sort of see the front mechanism. Okay, so we got magnets all along here, and these are just the tops of the cliffs. Your board sets right in here, and you do not need to cut precisely. We got a lot of overlap coverage there, as you can see. In most cases, most spots, you're looking at up to 1 inch of coverage. So, if you're within 1/2 inch, that's going to take care of it. And then we have magnets, and these things just pop right in there and hold things into place. This one here is an earlier one. You can see I went a little deeper. I decided to change that for the one I'm releasing you, so you don't have so much 3D print coverage going back. It doesn't really interfere if you're just doing a cliff face, but if you form these things into an entire butte, that extra rock really ended up taking up a lot of surface space. So I trimmed that back a little bit. So there you go. That's how those top plates hold into place. There are a few features that I'm not showing today that will be available in your kit. Each one of these cliffs will have a half version, so that's going to come out to about 135 millimeters on this upper print part. So you can print these tops. I do not have that available for the swappable faces, but everything else does have that available. I also have 2 turnout corners instead of turning in, And I also have a 3-part switchback trail that I will use as a painting demo about the middle of the month. So that's something you got to look forward to. All right, let's flip this thing around so we can get a quick look at the back side of it. Okay, here we are on the back side of the cliffs. You can see the cliffs themselves provide quite a bit of support. So, you know, if your platform's only going to be 7 or 8 inches, you probably don't need any additional support. The cliffs will take care of supporting whatever platform material you set up here. But if you go back like maybe a foot, 14 inches, you might want some extra back supports to keep this thing from tilting over. As previously mentioned, I have designed some simple mechanisms here that you can pop together that'll provide you the support you need on the back end of your platforms. The last feature I want to go over are slotted cliffs for allowing your characters to climb up them. You'll have 2 of these wider cliffs, 1 of the narrower cliffs, and 1 of the turns with these slots in there. And what we have here are slots every 25 millimeters. Okay, and then on this side I have slots every 50 millimeters, maybe for creatures who aren't impeded by vertical climbing. You know, if you want to have a spider drop down and attack your characters while they're climbing or something like that, that gives them a little spot for that. Now these slots are 4.4 millimeters tall, and they're slotted for 32 millimeter bases to give you a little more room to work with. Most of your bases are going to be between 3 and 3.5 millimeters tall. So in most cases, that's going to work out just fine. If you need extra support in the folder where these slotted climbable cliffs are, I have provided a little shim you can print out. And you can just thicken this up if you need to. I have the one included at 0.5 millimeter. So here's probably your thinnest base on a modern mini. This is a D&D mini, and that's a 3.0 millimeter base. And you can see in most cases that's just going to pop in there. Whoops, let me lift this up so we can see it a little better. It'll just slide right in there. You don't really need to worry about it popping out. If it is a little loose in places, you can just take this little shim and kind of shove it in there. And of course you can just thicken it up on your build plate if you need to. There's that little guy. Okay, so this will make it easy to allow your characters to climb and also to calculate fall damage. Whoops. Oh, that guy's dead. Fall damage, of course. Okay, I hope that overview was helpful. Make sure you stop back and check in. We'll be going over new features that will be coming out next month to expand on this, as well as doing more in-depth exploration of the features we're releasing this month. So, yeah, I think that's it. If you think of anything you would like to see us design into this modular set of cliffs, please let us know. We're taking requests, and we'll see if we can get yours worked in if you have something, okay? All right, we'll see you soon.